Is it?
Yeah, we're going to have more.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know that.
All right, thanks everybody. We're here at the Western Region Town Hall. I appreciate everybody. Something new to the Town Hall before we get started with roll call. We've got our nice presentation banner up with information how to reach us. If you're interested, you can take a photo of the QR code and I'll get you to our website. We'll do a roll call first. I'm here. I'm Thomas Aceves, Chairman. Tim Chiara.
Here.
Linda Alexander. Lisa Benavides.
Here.
David Eby.
Here.
And Claudine Petricelli.
Here.
Fantastic. We're all going to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Okay, has everybody got a chance to look at the minutes?
We do have a guest in the audience tonight. The other Brad Ross.
Oh, okay, I'll announce that in a moment. Minutes approval, did everybody get a chance to read and look at the minutes?
I'll move.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. Claudine makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Lisa. All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, motion carries.
You have to say all those.
No, motion carries. We're good. We do have a special guest tonight, Supervisor Rasmussen. Thank you for coming down. And certainly you can, during the public input, thank you for coming into the meeting. And we're going to open up to public input now, up to 3 minutes per citizen to provide input on any item not on the agenda, but within the council's jurisdiction. I, as chair, can extend the time to accommodate item if not appearing on the agenda. Items can be further discussed on a future agenda if the Worth Council decides to add it. Who would like to come up to the podium and for 3 minutes? Raise your hand and come up and state your name, and thank you.
Good evening, Western Region neighbors. Margot Kambara. The draft of the general plan update is available on the Lake County 2050 website. The general plan and your local area plan matter. Your vision and wishes for Lake County and the Western Region matter. Last Thursday at the Lake County Planning Commission meeting, the general plan and the local area plan influenced direction on a land use decision. The request was to rezone 50 acres of agricultural land to industrial and planned development commercial. Once ag land is rezoned, it almost never returns to ag production. Several community members spoke up at the Planning Commission meeting. They support preserving ag lands. A community member pointed out that the request is supposed to fix a 20-year-old error. Rezoning ag lands has significant impact that should require documentation and confirmation of previous approvals. A community member pointed out that the request contradicted direction in the local area plan and general plan. The Planning Commission wished to study the request and decide on the request at a later meeting. But Community Development and County Council told the Planning Commission that it had to act that day. And if the Planning Commission did not act, then the county would not be in compliance. But this non-compliance has been going on for 20 years. The Planning Commission was not comfortable rezoning 50 acres of ag land with questions raised. The Planning Commission did not accept Community Development's recommendation to rezone. The request will go to the Board of Supervisors on appeal. Your opinion on this and other matters count. Here, and I'll hold this closer for the camera, but this is a card that has a URL for the Lake County 2050 website where you can find the general plan draft, and it's broken up into chapters by topic, such as land use and water. Public comment on the general plan update may be brief. Please be prepared to share your input with community development. Worth may wish to make a recommendation on the general plan and the local area plan as well. But individual input is always welcome. Thank you. And then,
Thank you very much. Supervisor Rasmussen.
Yep.
Thank you for the intro earlier, but yes, I'm Brad Rasmussen. I'm the District 4 Supervisor over in the Lakeport area. I'm also the Chair of the Board for 2026, but I just want to come out tonight and watch some of this meeting and let folks know, actually, there is a small portion of the Worth boundary that extends into my district, and that is primarily over at the Bridge Arbor Westlake Road area. That goes down along to the Rodman Cutoff Road. So for the land trust and then some residences north of that down to Bridge Arbor, that's actually in District 4, but the Worth boundary extends out there. But I just want to say, I mean, I do try to pay attention to what's going on out here. I haven't been to one of these meetings in person for a while, but I do watch as many as I can on YouTube after the fact. So, and then lastly, I just want to also be available for the Supervisor Crandall if there's anything that he needs in support of this area over here. I'm available. So with that, thank you and appreciate the time.
All right, thank you very much. Supervisor Rasmussen, thank you for coming. Look forward. Anybody else in the audience would like to come up and make a 3-minute? Okay, we'll come to the board. Lisa?
I have just two quick things. One is an update. At our last meeting, we had Meadow Point Harmony Communities speak, and I just want to report on the action that was taken after that. So I did reach out to the State Water Resources Board, and I did two things. I requested a public records request and for all of their contracts with Harmony Communities. There are a lot. And I also requested confirmation and any information around water quality. I did speak to the manager for District 3, for the Water Resources Board, not us, but different District 3. And in their December, Meadow Point did not meet water quality compliance. So that when the resident reported that their water was black, that was accurate. So since then, they should have been issued, and I'll follow up with Zach. He said it was going to take a couple weeks, so I'll follow up to make sure that that has happened. But they would be issuing a certification of basically a compliance thing that says they have to fix it. He said it should be relatively a simple fix as far as them changing the filtration that they use on their water filter, but I wanted to report that what our community members reported was factual. Their water quality was not what it should have been, and the State Water Board is working with Harmony Communities to get that addressed. The other thing is just an FYI, I've since heard from a couple different members that the residents received a notice that Harmony Communities will not be responsible for any tree removal on the property anymore. So obviously, for those that were here, we know that this is a direct retaliation from something that a resident shared at our previous meeting. And so I will be doing some research to see what that person has within the realms of the law to address that, because it is very clear to me that Harmony Communities is actively intimidating our community members. The second update I have for you is the Upper Lake Main Street lights. I have been diligently calling at least once a week or once every 2 weeks the Special Districts Administration to see why the lights are not being fixed. They have shared that they have to coordinate with PG&E and that it's going to be take a while, but since then I've called back and I've said, look, we've been working to do this since August. What do we need to do? They told me last week that it was at the hands of the Special District Administrator. And so I am happy to report that I spoke with Supervisor Crandall, and he is working with the special districts administrator to see how we can get this across the finish line. As we know, special districts has a major issue going on that will probably delay this even further, but just wanted to give you guys a report that we are actively working on it, and we're trying to get, I think it's now 3 lights on Main Street replaced.
All right, thank you so much. Anyone else?
Yeah, we have a hand raised on Zoom.
Okay, can I go to Zoom? Can you state your name and you can talk now? Is anyone there? Maybe they're muted? Okay. We'll have to come back? Okay, technical issue, Thomas, or is it just?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Anyone else? Any more public input before we move on? Okay, come on up to the front and state your name and. A microphone, Kate. Yeah, thanks.
I'm Kate Parankama and the site lead for the Gleaners distribution in Nice, and tomorrow's distribution has been canceled due to our anticipation of extremely difficult weather conditions and our concern for the safety of the volunteers as well as clients and roadway interference. So the next scheduled and expected distribution of groceries through Clear Lake Gleaners will be on March 4th, which is the first Wednesday. This is a rather unique cancellation and probably the second one that's happened in about a dozen years. But we're very concerned about creating problems for our volunteers as well as the roadway, because people are lining up on the shoulders of 20, and with unsafe driving conditions, this isn't prudent. That's all.
All right, thank you, Kate. And any more public input? Okay, we'll go on to the next one. I'm going to hand this over to Claudine, and we're going to take it from there.
I'm a very proud and honored school board member of Upper Lake Unified District to announce that Ms. Tenderly Logan has been selected as our new superintendent. She has several decades of work experience with K through 12. She's absolutely remarkable and has done great and wonderful things for our special education department. She has just a very calm and personable way about her. And she also was awarded in '24 the Special Education Administrator's honor. It was for the entire state, so we're very proud of her accomplishments. And I know that she wants to work with us as a WRTH board, with having 4 institutions of education in our community. It's quite I look at it as a real honor to have these schools here, and we want to work for the main purpose of graduating our students. And I know Tenderly's just going to be, she's got that way about her. She established the wellness clinic that is absolutely phenomenal. And if ever you want to go through it and check it out, please do, because it offers these young children an opportunity to have their clothes washed and dried before they go on to school in the classroom. And there's support for families as well. So she's done, I can't even list the number of wonderful things she's done. So I'm very happy to introduce you. Would you like to say
Superintendent,
something?
may you stand up, and if you want to say a couple minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claudine. I appreciate those words, and I appreciate my newfound joy with being part of the WRTH board, not with the WRTH board, but with the community and participating in these meetings. And I'm so grateful for this board for everything that they do to support the community. I look forward to my new assignment in July of this school year, and looking forward to many more years with Upper Lake Unified and supporting students and staff.
Thank you very much. And we will invite you later on to have a broader time here to speak about goals and accomplishments in our school system. We haven't really had anyone here I know you have the school board meetings, but we'd love to have you back in the future to learn about what's going on and how we can help the school district with all the young people. So fantastic. Thank you so much. You have Maya Lynn. Maya Lynn, you want to go ahead and talk?
Yes, hi. In reference to what happened to Harmony with the retaliation from the last meeting that I listened to where the conversation was about the trees, they have now said that they will not take care of any trees. I'm not, obviously I'm not there. I can't see if Mr. Crandall is there or not. But we have been pleading with them to do a moratorium to help us that live in the mobile home parks. And I'm asking if he is there. I can't see. I know I just saw my own. But
Yeah, Maya, he is in attendance. Supervisor Crandall's here. I don't know if you want to wait till the end, Supervisor, or, okay.
I mean, if you want to go outside the scope, I mean, I don't know what.
We'll wait for that. We'll wait till your discussion at the end of the, okay, Maya, anything else?
She's still speaking.
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, so my question is, what is the ad hoc committee going to do to help us from the retaliation from the corporate people who own our land where we have our homes that we own? We received another letter from Caritas Corporation, which is a nonprofit corporation that makes a really big profit. That's also telling us, and every supervisor has received one of these. It was mailed by another member in our park, so you should already have this letter. And they're letting us know that they're doing everything that's within the mobile home residency law and what Lake County is allowing right now. And that they say that there'll be an RSO by July 2026. Where they got that information from, I don't know. But they're also doing a little bit of a threat that if we continue that they might have to sell us, which I would wish we could buy it. But anyway, we're getting made to feel insecure about where we live, and it's to the point that you're afraid to speak out because they're bigger than we are. And without you, Mr. Crandall, and the Sabatier and the people on the staff, there are many of us that are just sitting there at your hands, and all we're asking is for you to please just put a temporary moratorium so that they can't continue to make us choose between food and heat while the corporations are sliding their next little trick of collecting more money from us to help them in their capital expenses. So I don't know where we stand on that.
Okay.
I'm
Thank you, Maya. I'm
currently
gonna
not
go-
in the state, but I'm just as upset about it as if I was there.
Okay.
But I'd like to know what are you doing to help us for this moratorium in fees? If we wait past March 1st, then we
Okay.
have to.
Maya, thank you for your public input. It's a real important, I'm going to have Supervisor Crandall respond to that at his discussion at the end of the meeting. We actually don't have Meadow Point on the agenda today, but Supervisor Crandall, he can respond to that when he gets to at the end of the meeting. And if you stay on, someone else has a hand up. Is this public input? Because we're going to go to the next topic, which is our levy system.
Public input.
Okay, go ahead and I'll give you 3 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you state your name?
My name is Hillary Mosier. I'm the regional manager for the Golden State Manufactured Homeowners League, and I've been helping the folks in Lake County whose mobile home park owners are squeezing them, jacking up the rent. And today, we are doing our best to ask all of the supervisors to please put this issue on the 24th, the February 24th agenda, because if they don't, then the increase at Sterling Shores is going to go into place on March 1st, and there's no looking back on that. As far as the comment regarding the park where the owner is saying he is no longer responsible for the trees, under the California mobile home residency laws, park owners are responsible for trees that are in the common areas and for driveways, which they own and they put in. So this park owner is notorious for violating the California state laws. And I'm really hoping that the people on this committee and the people who are on the Board of Supervisors will not lay down for it, because he'll walk all over you. And this idea that parks are now saying, oh, if we don't gouge these people for money right now, while the Board of Supervisors is through an RSO, we won't be able to afford to have our parks. That's a lie. It's a strategy. I work with communities all up and down the state, and this is a typical tactic that they use. But the fact is, they're making millions in profits. And the idea that they have to gouge people that are low-income folks, the families that are, you know, serving you your meals in restaurants and taking care of your yards, the young families that are working 2 and 3 jobs, those people are living in parks with kids. They're doing their best. The disabled, the retired, those are the people who are living in your parks, the most vulnerable in your community. And right now, if there's unintended consequences from the board taking up the rent stabilization ordinance of getting gouged until they make a decision. Under state law, park owners only have to give 60 days notice to increase through a pass-through, which is what has happened at Sterling Shores. They should not be allowed to do this. They're predatory, they're taking advantage, and only the Board of Supervisors can stop it. And we're really hoping that this committee will advise them to please do not allow this erosion of what little affordable housing that's non-subsidized Lake County has.
Okay, thank you so much. If you want to stay on, we'll have Supervisor Crandall respond to that during his section of the meeting, his report. Okay, thank you so much. We're going to go on to our main topic, and we want to welcome Director Pawan. Coordinator Linda, is she here too? Hey, how you doing? I want to thank you, Director, for coming to the meeting, talking about the levy system and this year perhaps what we're going to be seeing. And do I have Department of Transportation Hannah Clark on Zoom as well, Thomas?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me okay, Ms. Clark?
Hold on 1 second, I gotta bring her back.
Her title is,
I hear the
well, I'll have
audio,
her
but
state
it
your,
does cut in and out a little bit, so I might miss a question here or there.
okay. Well, she's going to be there to support the topic about the Clover Creek diversion, right, Director?
Yeah.
And you can point her out when you, what is your title, Hannah?
Hi, I'm Hannah Clark. I'm an environmental scientist, mitigation specialist at the California Department of Transportation, or you guys probably know us better as Caltrans.
Thank you so much. And I'll let Director Pawan come to you when he needs input on that section of the topic. Okay, thank you, Director. If you want to introduce yourself and talk about some of the items that we asked you to talk about. Thank you so much.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you for having us here today. Hello, everyone. My name is Pawan Upadhyay. I'm the Lake County Water Resources Director, and I have with me here Linda as well. Do you want to?
Sure. Linda Bill, Water Resource Coordinator. Programs I run are many. Levees is one of them. I do flood, I do stormwater, I do a little bit of lake bed. Pretty much just fill in where we need to. That's what I do.
So I think so. We are here mainly to provide like some updates on the vegetation and the gravel management in the creek bed, especially the areas like where we are responsible for managing, and then we can dive into like some of our projects, especially I think the Caltrans mitigation project which we have. And if you guys have any other question, maybe we'll try to address that as well. Yeah. So I think. we'll start with, I think, the Alley Creek cleanup, which we did last year. You guys might have noticed like the vegetation as well as the gravel removal we did there. Right, I think in the beginning of the season, it was pretty good. And the reason we did it because the creek was almost filled, like where the water was touching up to the bridge deck. So that was kind of pretty hazardous condition there. And that's the reason why we started at that point, at that particular location. But it seems like because the gravel has not been managed for a long time there, so it does seems like it does all that came back because which might be holding upstreams. And we are planning to do like another round of gravel removal this year. We have to see like how our planning and other thing goes. And with that, I think the other project, so this is like about like from the Pitney Lane Bridge right there, and then about quarter-mile downstream, that section I was talking about, and then from the Elk Mountain Bridge to all the way to the confluence to the Middle Creek. That's the part which is which would be done under the Caltrans mitigation grant. So the plan is to remove the vegetation as well as the gravel from that particular section of the creek. And right now, like we did had some staff turnover, so which put us a little bit back, but probably right now we are on track to probably get it done either this fall or probably next fall. So that's like, and there was some work which was done like initially, like the vegetation removal, and we are working with Hannah, which is from the Caltrans, and then restructuring a little bit the grant, which probably makes it more practical to work on the ground, because right now like the vegetation management and the gravel is like two separate things as listed in the grant. So we are planning to move ahead with like one contractor doing both the vegetation and the gravel right after that, because I think we did run into that situation where we did a little bit of vegetation removal, but then we didn't had contractor or other work which we need to do in order to meet the grant deadline, grant requirement, because we need to be in alignment with like what is required for the grant as well. Yeah, I mean, Linda, do you want to add something to that?
So, yeah, I'm actually really proud of the work that we've done thus far. Is that better? Okay, there we go. And so being in charge of the levees for the past year and a half, almost 2 years, I'm really proud of the work that we've accomplished. We started out with an emergency gravel removal in the later end of 23, excuse me. And then we got our project 23, 24?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got Alley Creek, with the help of one of our local contractors. Going to give Coleman a good shout out here, because with the limited money that we had, the funds that we had, they helped us out, and they came through with to get that section of levee done. And it was the first year since I've been here that the residents on Pitney Lane didn't have to drive through floodwaters. And so it was something that I was really happy and proud of. Unfortunately, 2 months later, we had 2 atmospheric rains that brought in that whatever sediment we took out came right back. And so we did do another emergency removal, because we're preparing for the 3 inches of rain that we're predicted to have between Saturday and Wednesday of this week. And so it was just enough to not flood or not have those worries. I wanted to make sure that the residents were going to be comfortable and that we could keep going to where the road wasn't going to flood and they weren't going to have to deal with flooding again. And so we did some preemptive work. We did work with Fish and Wildlife because we've been so busy. We are literally a staff of 3 coordinators and 2 technicians. And so we kind of try to appease everybody and Because it's flood season, I've been dealing with calls for every creek. We do have some emergency work that we want to be doing in Scotts Creek because they flood every year, and anytime a little bit of rain comes in, that road floods, and they can't get in and out, or they have troubles. They have to drive through flood waters. We're looking at other places, some place on Soda Bay. Soda Bay has a place where a resident continuously floods, and so we are responding to as many calls as we can, and we're trying to address as many creeks as we can with the limited funds that we do have. Right now, we do have some work that we're working with the Seas to do some vegetation clearing within those creeks. We are working on some grant monies. I am currently in application right now and working with FEMA and Cal OES to get some monies for a hazard vegetation removal. It's more of a fire grant than anything. It's the only thing we could find that would get money to remove the vegetation. So while I'd like to stick with flood, we're moving into fire because we're trying to get the money to remove those fuels and do some fuel reduction is what we're calling it, but it's going to be beneficial to flood as well. I think that's it for the Pitney Lane area and our creeks.
Okay. Yeah, and I think so we did receive some like specific question, like hopefully like with this conversation probably they get addressed along the way. But I think a couple of times which comes up about the Lake County Aggregate Management Plan. I just want to address that thing because the plan which was put it together, that was more about the gravel mining rather than preventing the flooding and which happened because of the gravel accumulation. So and that plan we had is like 34-year-old at this point, and what it says like how the environmental laws or the regulation has changed for better or worse, like we have to abide by them, and then which also restrict like the amount of work or the time of the year we are able to do. So that's another hurdle we face. So and we have to work with other agencies on that. So yeah. And with that, I think we can provide some update on the Caltrans grant. So as I said earlier, so we had a couple of meetings with Hannah, and we are trying to change a little bit things in that which is probably restricting us from moving forward, because and it seems like we have that flexibility with the grant that we can change it and probably get the work done. And I think there are some questions about the scours which has been in that section of the levees. So I want to just give an update on, so we did had a meeting with DWR regarding that, with the state DWR, Department of Water Resources, regarding those scours. Yeah, so we did had a meeting with state Department of Water Resources regarding the scours on the levees. So at this point, like it seems like it's not too concerning for them because it's like in the very initial phase of it. Right now, we are like actively monitoring those scours. So I will probably say like the conversation we had with DWR. So at this point, like we continuously monitor it, but based on the other priorities or other projects they have or the resources they have, they don't have the resources to address it right away. But because our Caltrans project is also in the same area, so we will see like what we can do to address this scour at the same time when we are doing the gravel removal. And especially I think one of the scour which is like larger, probably we will try to at least address that one with our Caltrans implementation. And for the other two, we will see like if DWR can come down or like help us with some funding or some resources, whether in terms of engineering or like having some equipment on the ground. So yeah, I mean that's the plan to address the scour, but at this point it seems like it's not like a big concern. It's like just in the initial phase of it. I mean, it would be ideal to get it addressed right away, but based on the resources we have and the other priorities for DWR as well, like at least they are not going to address it this year. So either next year or a year after that, it might get addressed. Yeah, I mean, is there something? So is there like anything, Hannah, do you want to add to that, or are you good with it?
Hi, thanks. No, I appreciate the summary that both of you gave. Just to kind of maybe remind the listeners of how Caltrans kind of got involved in the Lake County levee system. You might be scratching your heads wondering maybe why we're involved. So Lake County Watershed Protection District has been a great partner for us in helping us achieve our environmental mitigation requirements for 2 different Caltrans transportation projects that you have probably noticed. Well, they've finished up construction, but there were 2 different projects on Highway 20 in Lake County. There was the Lake 20 shoulder widening project and the Blue Lake Safety Project. And so both of those projects had some impacts to stream habitat and to riparian habitat, and to make sure that we meet all of our environmental permitting requirements set by California Department of Fish and Wildlife in our 1600 permits. We had to go out and find either land on our own to try to restore, or better yet, try to find organizations or agencies that are actively trying to restore similar habitat. And so we were really excited to partner with Lake County on this section of Clover Creek, because not only will it restore the actual stream habitat going through the levee system, but it will also really benefit the endemic and listed species, clear lake hitch, which is obviously a very important fish species locally to both the environment and to the people that live there. And so we, like Linda and Pawan mentioned, we're a little bit behind schedule in that, but Caltrans is flexible, and CDFW is also flexible. We've, been making sure that we are keeping on top of our meetings, and we are definitely going to be active partners to make sure that this project is a success. And so we really are looking forward to seeing where the project goes and see the successful results. So let me know if anybody has any questions directly for me.
Yeah, so I think in summary, I will say probably all the area from Pitney Lane Bridge all the way to the Middle Creek, that's a priority for us, and we will see as much as the vegetation removal as well as the gravel removal we can do. And we are expecting probably it will come down after the first removal, so we have to do like a continuous maintenance after that. But I think the first one is little bit a bigger project because it has not been maintained for a long time. But once that's done, we are also planning to keep at it and do a little bit gravel removal on a routine basis.
All right, well, thank you for the presentation, and we're going to go to the council. Does the council have any questions for the director, or Linda, or Hannah?
I have a question regarding kind of a follow-up with the biochar project. Has that lease been terminated with Scotts Valley Pomos?
That's in works right now. I think, I don't know like what the status of that thing is, but I think the lease has not been canceled yet.
It hasn't?
It hasn't.
Okay. And then how does that proceed then?
So there is a like process to it. I think we will follow up with it. And what?
We're talking about the levy.
Okay, we can. Okay, so you're in the process. Okay,
yeah, it's
thank
in
you.
process. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next, Lisa.
First, I just want to say thank you guys for coming out. I know that this has been a long time in the works, and you have a daunting amount of work in our county. So I just want to say I appreciate that. And it sounds like there's a lot of really exciting development happening. So I appreciate you sharing those updates. I have a couple different questions for you. One, I'll just give you all three. And then you can, okay. So one, when you were talking about the Alley Creek, you were saying that you're planning on gravel removal, and you said it depending on. Could you share a little bit about what it's depending on, like what would stop it from removing? And then around the Caltrans grant, do you have a project completion deadline for when all of this work has to be done? And then the third thing is, for the fire grant, which I love the creativity there, adjusting what grants you're applying to get, you know, two birds in one stone. You mentioned that you're looking to tackle vegetation. Is that vegetation specifically targeted for the Middle Creek levees?
Yeah. So I think the first one is like there are like multiple factors, like weather can be one of them. Okay. The permitting can be another one of them, right? So the other thing is like making sure, because we don't have any dedicated funding for the work which we did the last time. So basically like the fund we get is the assessment for the levees, and those assessments are not enough to even do the maintenance. So the another thing is like we have to like, I think still figure it out, like where we're gonna do the same amount of work which we did last year. But because it was like we saw the impact of it, so I think that's the reason like we are planning to go ahead with it. Most likely I think we would be able to still do it, but I mean these might be like some of the few things. And permitting, and then in there are like multiple things, right? The habitat thing, like for
we have
the
storage
birds.
issues. We don't know where to put it all. And you know, truth be told, I spent our budget on getting that project done, and so until assessments come in again, it'll let me know how much I can do again, and if we have any willing contractors to kind of work with us, because literally the money is not even considered staging money. It's not enough. But again, Coleman came through for us and did us a solid and helped us out with that. And then I wanted to address the fire thing, the fire grant question. It's a portion of it on the bigger loop, yes, but we're also looking at Scotts Creek. We're going to do a mile there. Thompson Creek, we're doing a mile there, and then Victoria Creek, we're going to do a mile there. That's what's encompassed in that grant.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and one of the factor can also be you can have everything together, but if you can't find a contractor to do the things, then sometimes the project is stalled because of that as well. So.
And then the first, thank you so much for using local contractors. That's so important. And the last question was the project completion deadline.
Yeah, so I think we have up to 5 years, I believe, which is up to 2029 to complete everything.
What year?
For the Clover Creek diversion, mitigation project, 29.
29. Cool. That'll still be before the complete streets improvement. No, for Caltrans. Okay, so anything else, Lisa? No. Anybody else on the council would like to talk? Okay, so anybody hands raised? No. We're going to go to the public now. Please raise your hand, and we're going to come out with the microphone. Please use the microphone, state your name, and ask the director or Linda or Hannah Clark your question.
Julia has a question.
Hi, Julia Carrera, Worth Levy Subcommittee Chair Lead. The subcommittee, which is here, Walt, John, and myself, had put together those questions that Thomas kindly sent to you, and I want to thank you for answering a lot of them. It's good information for our community to have, but I was hoping to ask some of the questions that weren't answered. I've got the list here.
Sure.
Thank you. So regarding the aggregate management plan, which gravel extraction is tied to, that is an old plan, it actually was done by ex-supervisor Gary Davis, and several Upper Lake community members who have reached out to this committee, me in particular, about the aggregate management plan. And its intention was not solely for mining. It was to keep the creeks clear and flowing for no flood and to repair the roads. So I understand the challenge when you're new here coming to work in Lake County, that there's no transition period and no information given to you from prior people's positions, and a lot of our historical data gets lost, and I'm afraid this is part of that. So I just wanted to clarify that, and if you need any kind of backup information or validation or anything like that, we're happy to provide that to you if you find it helpful, which it might be because it's more than mining. Regarding the CDFW was informed, not by this committee, by the way, it was informed by Pitney Lane residents and Elk Mountain Road residents about the current gravel extraction. And the photos were included that we got from them. So I was wondering what's going on with that. Has CDFW reached out to you? Is there going to be a meeting? What's happening there? Is there an LSA for that work?
Yep. We have all that under control, and yes, it was done under emergency because of the water that's coming through. We're in flood season right now. And so I have been in contact with Claire. The project is in EPIMS. Yes, they are coming out, and as they always do when we do any kind of project or any kind of work that is done in an emergency.
Okay, and for those that don't know, EPIMS is the CDFW online permitting process, because not many people know that. So it sounds like you don't know where the gravel that's being extracted or the sediment is being disposed of currently, or do you know where the current gravel is being disposed of?
We had our roads crew take it for us. They did us a solid.
Great.
And took it for us, so, yeah.
Great. So then the future extraction, that this levee was designed to know that gravel will always be coming into it, so it's an ongoing maintenance issue that we all understand is underfunded, if funded at all. But how are we going to manage gravel extraction in this levee system and the disposal of it in the future? Do you have any ideas yet?
Yeah, sure. So I think, so when earlier I was saying that that plan is mostly for the, like the gravel removal more than flood control thing. And the reason that I was saying that is because the gravel in the creeks at this point, like at least from our perspective, it looks like more of a liability than a resource. So it costs more to take it out, it costs more to dispose it off, and most of the time, most people don't want it. So then you have to haul it out as well. So, and that all adds up to the cost. And we have checked with like our roads crew, county roads crew, and it does seem like probably they also don't have a use of it, because I mean things have changed over last many years, right? I mean right now it seems like there is preference for a quarry gravel compared to a creek gravel. So, and that all those factors play into that.
All right, so next person.
Well, there's a couple more questions.
That's it, Julia.
We didn't know there was a time on it.
3
I thought we were
minutes.
having.
So who else would like to talk? Can you state your name and ask your question? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm Walt Christensen. I sit on the North Shore Fire Board, and I just wanted to let you know that there is a contractor here for brush removal in the county. It's called North Shore Fire. We have the only fuels crew in the county to remove vegetation, and it would be very simple for you to contract with North Shore Fire fuels crew to remove all the vegetation in the creek all the way up. And we do work all through the county, so you could actually contract with them to get Scotts Creek, Adobe Creek is out with the other part of that goes through to Soda Bay?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the creek that you're talking.
Is that working with Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to them last year, they've just been busy. And so they actually
Well,
cut fire lines
just
for
get
us.
on their list.
Yeah, they've cut
They
fire
will,
lines
they
for
will,
us, but they've just
I can
been
tell
busy.
you as a board member, I will press to have our area a higher priority than the Riviera's.
Any help is really
And
good help.
so if you want them, we can get them for you.
If you-
But you have to pay. It's
Yeah.
not a free service.
And that's pretty much what we know, and when I've talked to Shannon
Yeah.
about it, and I met Shannon out on the levees. And so, yeah, we had talked about it, just, they got busy.
Just get 'em in there and get it
They cut a fire line
done.
for us, and that was pretty much, because we wanted them to actually do some broadcast burning. It would be good to broadcast burn to get rid of those invasive species of plants that we're having issues going through, like the brush, the bunch grass. It's hard on our mower, you know, when we have to go through it, so,
Yeah, that's what we're set up for.
yeah, if any help's good help.
All right, next person with question, state your name. Anyone else in the public? All right.
I'm John Lavoito. Sir, I have to say that I am having a very difficult time understanding you. But it sounds to me like you are looking at this whole problem from a great height overview. And you are not convincing me that you understand what is really going on out there. And I would like to invite you and your staff to go on a walk with me in the middle of a storm and let me show you some things. That's all.
Sure.
All right. Anyone else with a question, or anyone on the council? Anybody in Zoom? Okay. Well, thank you so much for the update, Director and Linda.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And one thing I want to say before you, oh, we do have another comment? Okay. Okay, Supervisor Crandall.
Yes, so just wanted to thank you all for coming in. I know it's been a while. I'll stand up, sorry. I know that the Worth Town Hall has been wanting Water Resources to come for quite some time to talk about these important issues. You know, I heard there was a mention about continuity, and that's important. You know, this has been a legacy issue for quite some time, and it's very frustrating for the community here to see the levees the way they are. And I think the amount of work you've put in and attempted to get done is very important. That's one of the hardest things, though, when it comes to continuity and keeping the same material or the same history of material and passing it to the next person. Now, we have a group here that's in a position to do this work, and if we want to make sure that they keep this information, just like we have a Middle Creek restoration, now we have a new project manager. So now we have someone to focus on that. See, these are how the things get built out so we can make sure things move forward. If we continuously lambast these folks and they leave, there's another opportunity for us to lose that continuity. So I understand if you're not happy, because you have every right to not be happy because the levees are the way they are. But it's not necessarily their fault. You can blame it on me, even though it's not necessarily my fault. But the problem is we still have the issue. So let's come together, figure it out. You have a lot of information that you all have put forward. Good work on this levees committee, subcommittee. And let's work to get it done. I like the idea that the gentleman said, come walk with us. Okay, I know that they've been out there, but work with them, and let's do what we can to get this problem solved. So I just wanted to just say that.
All right. I want to thank both of you for coming. It's been a while, and as chair, it's important for us to have our departments come here and give us transparency and information on the progress being made. We know we're not going to hear all the answers we want because of the funding sources and the limitations. However, the transparency is the key, at least as chair, for me, while I'm here, for this board and for our public to know what's going on. And it's a real educational experience for all of us to see how we're doing. I want to thank you, Hannah Clark. I know, we understand better now how you're participating in this. And yeah, we'll come out and walk with John, right? and see what he feels is his concerns from living here for so long and understanding these levees better than most people understand them. And that would give you a better insight on what they're really worried about. And obviously, you probably know much about it already. But I thank you so much. I'm going to invite you guys another 6 months so we can get an update on how we're doing out there. Because again, transparency is everything for us. And understanding what we don't know. And once we know it, it fills our knowledge. Thank you so much. And we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. All right, so we're going to go to the next topic, and we're going to do a Upper Lake Grange update. A lot of progress, a lot of excitement going on. Ooh, Easter egg hunt.
So hi everyone. Yes, we have a lot of really exciting things happening at the Bachelor Valley Grange. I am super excited to share that this Saturday we will have our first rental since we reopened, and we have another 2 already in the docket. So that is really, really, really big for us. So that, as many of us know, one of the reasons that the Grange had to shut its doors previously was too much money going out and not enough coming in. So we're really working hard on building sustainable practices so that our Grange is around to support the community. Last week, myself and Melanie Sneathen had the opportunity to speak at the school board, the Upper Lake Unified School District school board meeting, where we had the honor of being approved to use the Upper Lake Middle School once again for our Easter egg hunt. And so there are 2 flyers on the back. As a reminder or as information for those who may not know, this Easter egg hunt was actually started by community members and ran for years solely through volunteer and community members coming together and community donations. So we will continue that legacy, and so what we're asking for right now, the Easter egg hunt is March 28th. It's always the week before Easter itself, and so we're looking for donations. We do not need eggs. We have like 5,000 eggs. But what we do need is things to fill the eggs. We do need toys and baskets and things to fill baskets. It is open for 0 to 12. This year we are doing it a little bit different. Previous years it's kind of been like the Wild Wild West, where we just said, and go, and all of the age groups went at the same time. This year we will be having, is it heats? Is that what they're called? The 0 to 2 will go, and then 15 minutes later, the 3 to 5, 15 minutes later, 6 to 8, and then ending with 9 to 12. And that's because we heard community input last year that said, I have kids in both groups, and I can't be with both of them. So we are making some of those adjustments. You have the flyer on the back here is for the actual event. It's open and available to all North Shore youngins, and it's completely free. And then there is also a flyer that lists out the donation types that we need. If you are interested in donating, you can drop off your donations at Upper Lake Grocery, or you could reach out to me or the Facebook or any Grange member to organize a donation drop off at the Grange itself, and we will do pickups as well. Other than that, we are working on launching a farmers market that will come this spring, and that will be here in Upper Lake. When we have that stuff finalized, which hopefully is this Sunday, we will have that publicly shared. We will also be doing in April the Upper Lake Cleanup Day will come back, so we didn't do it last year. This year we will be hosting that. It'll be on Earth Day, and we will have Grange members cleaning up Main Street and cleaning up the streets of Upper Lake. And then, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the big one. I said it last time, but we do have it confirmed. June 6th will be the Summer Days Festival. So we will be bringing back the Summer Community Festival. It will be here on Main Street. And this year we will be doing a combination where we're reaching out to the local tribes and the county And we're doing a resource fair in addition to a festival. So we are looking to have like different resources tabling so that as folks come out, they will be able to get those resources as well as have a little fun. And that is what we're working with the school with as well, is we would like to have a parade of kindergartners, 8th graders, and seniors to celebrate our graduating young folks. So other than that, next general meeting is March 9th. It's the second Sunday of every month at 6 p.m. You can come just learn more about us, get information about what we are, or just hang out once or twice a month, you know? Sorry, Monday, not Sunday, Monday. And my contact information is on the flyers, but also you can reach out to me on Facebook or after the meeting here if you have any specific questions for me. And I think that's it, unless anyone has any questions.
What's the cleanup day for what you guys are targeting?
We don't have, so typically it's April 24th, I think, is Earth Day, but it'll probably be whatever Saturday is near that. Our website will be up soon, and we will have a calendar that will have all of our events. Also, thank you for saying that, because some of us may have seen there is a couple of local community members looking to coordinate Alcoholics Anonymous, and we are working with them to potentially utilize the Grange for that meeting. So and the Girl Scouts also use us. So we're really trying to be a staple for whatever the community needs.
Did you get exterior paint? Did you get exterior paint?
No, I think the rain just hit us and cleaned us off a bit.
It looked like it was painted.
All right.
She has a question.
Who has a question? Oh, yeah, Linda, you can come to the microphone. Yeah.
So I'm super interested in your cleanup day. I have a grant for trash cleanup, and I'd like to participate in that. And then if we could be a part of for what is it you have? You wanted a whole bunch of people.
Summer days.
Summer days. We have our Hitch program and other programs that we can share with everybody on exactly what we do in water resources. So if we can participate.
Absolutely. And if you're able to stay and talk to the meeting, we can connect. Otherwise, grab one of these. That's my cell phone.
Okay.
Linda, before you go, you have a grant for cleanup. I cleaned up the Nice Cutoff for the last 9 years with a group of people, including people on this board. Can I reach out to you to see if you can help
Yes,
with
sir.
that? That
That'll
cutoff
work.
is a mess.
That's great.
Great.
I forgot.
It's okay. You have my cell phone.
Thank you so much. We'll come back to Tim when he remembers. We're going to go to the next item. It's District 3 Supermac update. I'm excited to say we're going to have a first meeting at the end of April, and we'll be announcing that. These are the combination of all the advisory councils on the North Shore to first come together, first time ever in the county, to come and have common issues and concerns and topics. So we're going to be looking at universal trash collection. The meeting will probably be held in Lucerne. Again, we'll be announcing this, I'm sure, all over the place. We're going to be looking at trails, possibly with the help of Director Pawan, back in the Middle Creek area. I know Holly has talked to you about that. Yep, thank you. And we'll be talking about, what else, Lisa? We're going to be looking at
Universal garbage.
universal garbage.
There was one more thing.
Yeah. Well,
It'll all be on the flyer.
well, these are all going to be things that hopefully will be supported by Supervisor Crandall and that'll be in motion. We're not going to just be looking at things. We use these advisor councils separately to come off with information portals and learning about what's going on in the community, as well as seeing what's happening. But mainly, I think we're trying to get this to be more of an action deliverable solution, and you'll see that. It's going to be held probably at the Lucerne Senior Center, so it's a medium point. So hopefully that'll be coming up at the end of April. We're excited for that. So that's a good thing. And Tim has remembered.
The summer day, that's kind of like the Wild West Days was before?
It is a very similar festival.
Okay, and there's going to be tables and stuff for different organizations and things like that?
Yes, and we'll have that information out soon for vendors to sign up.
We should have one.
We're dedicating, I can't remember off the top of my head how many booths we can have, but if you remember the Fall Festival that was a couple years ago, Katie managed that, and so she's our chair for this, so we'll be dedicating, I think, 20 booths for like community organizations.
I think Worth should have a table there as well.
I will send you the link to sign up.
In a good spot without the sun on us. No. Thank you so much. Subcommittees, Pile Road. Dave, would you want to report?
I'm Dave Hendrick, Subcommittee Chair for Pile Road, or Co-Chair. And a month ago, Code Enforcement closed the tickets for Joanne and Dana and said the abatement would be proceeding, but Cody's still there. They haven't done anything. We saw Code Enforcement drive in one day. They must have warned them that they were going to be evicted or something. And so they've been now almost 2 or 3 weeks. They've been cleaning up the place and moving stuff in and out. And I looked up the laws. I haven't heard anything email from Marcus. He hasn't responded at all. But I called one day and actually talked to him. And he told me that they were going to abate it, but nothing has happened since. So he said that once they're abated, they'll just move back in, and there's nothing they can do about it. So I looked up the laws, and the laws say pretty clearly that once they've been abated and thrown off the property, that they can't move back on. And so I don't know who's responsible for it. So that's something I've been trying to find an answer to. But he's still there. And hopefully something will be done this month. That trash that they moved from the red tagged property on Morton Street is just spreading out all over the hill. There were about 10, 15 garbage bags they dumped over the side of the hill, and it's up on Main Street, and it's just everywhere now. It's just the wind and the weather is just spreading it out all over the place. I went down on Powell Road about a week ago, about 10 o'clock in the morning, and there was a fire burning there with a chair next to it, and right at the end of Powell Road, and just sitting there burning. So I took a picture of it, and I don't think the sheriff or CHP or anybody has been down and done anything. I did see CHP go down to the motorcycle rally thing that goes on every Saturday, and I heard from my friend Josh, who lives down in that area on Garden Street, that CHP just watched the kids ride around in the circle and do wheelies up and down Pile Road and didn't do anything about it at all. So I think that's pretty much it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. We go now to Upper Lake School Traffic Safety.
Okay, I had a conversation with Sergeant Powell once again, and he urged community members to call in any complaint, any traffic violation, speeding, whatever. And I think any one of us that drives through Upper Lake realizes that the speed is just unforgiving. I mean, people are just in a hurry, and they don't want to stop. There's a lot of tailgating going on and so forth. So he again urged everybody to file a complaint, to call 707-281-5200, and you can put in a complaint anonymously. So we have to, really be mindful of our students, and I'm hoping at some point I can speak with somebody about speed bumps in front of the Upper Lake Elementary School. And I wanted to just a follow-up about the needed stop sign at Middle Creek and Second. And I have some points that I would like to have our board write up a letter and send it to, I guess it would be Lars Ewing. And number one, the needed stop sign is the route many drivers take to drop off, pick up children at one of the 3 school institutions. School safety is needed. 2, Middle Creek to 2nd Street is well-traveled. Many drivers do not slow down when they make the turn from Middle Creek to 2nd headed to downtown Upper Lake. Some drivers fail to stop at 2nd Street. Students' children travel the sidewalk on 2nd Street and need to be protected, making sure that there are no auto accidents or so forth happening. And I would like to kind of do a reach out to the community to find out how many have been involved in accidents at that site. And this piece of history would be important to justify this extreme need to have a stop sign. And as a concerned community, we must gather together and insist being heard and helped when it comes to street road safety in Upper Lake. So I'd like to propose that the Worth send this letter on, and in hopes that Mr. Ewing can come out and visualize what we're talking about, because it's a very dangerous spot. And if anybody has had an accident there or whatever, we'd like to really gather that information as well.
Before we make that motion, or Supervisor Crandall, should we do a letter, or can you support a proclamation yourself on the board? Can you, yeah. Can you make a comment on that? So.
I've talked with Lars about this. It would help to
Would
have
it help?
something
Okay.
from you, yes. Anytime that you all can do a letter or something like that, it helps. It gives me kind of like some foundation, if that makes sense. But I mean, I've been talking with Lars about it. When I proposed it to him, it was when that accident had happened before. And so I just need to follow up with him once more and you know, go from there. But this was fairly when it was new to him, and all these other things kind of piled. So it's a good follow-up time, and I think it's something that really doesn't. I don't think it would need too much studies, and that's the thing that I was really kind of debating about was we need, and I think that's where Mr. Lasik helped, because doing an urgency ordinance or something of the like to put one there while they study, and that was the thing that he was looking at. So that was the holdup. But either way, it's still something that can be done.
Great.
And but I think it really would help. Just, I mean, I don't want to stall it out too much. So if you just want me to, I mean, I don't know what other action aside from bringing it to the board I can do, but.
Do we want to?
So,
Because I don't want you to have to do a letter and then next month, you're waiting a whole month to do that. You see what I mean? That's going to take them.
So in other words, you're going to take this need to Mr. Ewing again, or?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I can, what I can do is just send an email to you all, and that way you have some sort
Sounds
of action
great,
from
yeah.
there.
Thanks, CJ.
Better than waiting. I don't want you to have to wait any longer than you already have.
Great, thank you.
I have a compromise to suggest.
compromise.
Yeah. So what I think might be a good idea is perhaps we draft a letter to be prepared for next meeting, just in case.
Okay.
That way, if EJ does need it, we have it ready and we can approve
Do you
it.
have a copy?
I have it,
Okay.
yes, it's in me.
Would you do that then?
Yes, and then the other suggestion I have, if agreeable, is we could add a Google form on our website that says report here, or report an accident here, or report safety issues
Yeah,
here.
I think that's very important to historically look at how many accidents have occurred there.
Oh, okay, yeah, evidence of
Yeah.
evidence of actual solutions or actual events, issues. Yeah.
Because the last time, and I'm so sorry, I think it was Lars, he shared that a lot of the data they pull is from CHP, but we know as folks that live there, we know there were a lot of accidents that are not reported by the CHP. Yeah. So if we could have something that said report an accident here, and it could be completely anonymous, it's just what's the details, then at least we could use that to back up our letter and say, like, yes, it's not posted by the CHP, but locally we are collecting and we know that this is what's happening.
And you'll put that
I can, yes, if it's approved to do so.
Do you want to do a motion to approve the letter now, or do you want to draft the letter?
Yeah.
Do we need to do that?
Yeah, I can move, I move that we draft a letter to present at the next Worth meeting, as well as putting a Google form on the website to report incidents at 2nd Street.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Lisa to draft a letter. We have a second by Tim. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Aye as well. Okay, so let's go to Nice Copter.
No, levies.
Levies, we've already discussed levies, so. Just for a few, yeah, I thought we were gonna, since we had the levy presentation. Okay, go ahead and come on up. Thanks.
Thank you. Julia Carrera, Levy Subcommittee Chair Lead. We had a couple more questions that were to be for Hannah, and I was hoping to get those on record. And I also wanted to suggest, taking off of what Lisa just suggested about the accidents and problems in front of the school, that we also put a link on the website for issues about the levy. I think it would be very helpful for the community to have a place other than the subcommittee to call or put their information on. It would also be helpful to give that information to Water Resources. Part of my whole idea has always been the more eyes we have on the levy, the better off we all are. And that would be another way to accomplish that. So I wanted to propose that we also put on the website a button for people that have concerns or want to report something about the levies. And then the two questions for Hannah were from the levy subcommittee. Is there a plan for restoration? Well, this is for Pitney Lane, sorry. Is there a design plan for the restoration of the scour area? And if so, is the public able to review that plan and give input? And also, what will be the monitoring and for how long for the scour restoration project? What markers will be used? I just wanted to get that on the record. Because
do you mind answering those questions, Director? Or do you?
I think those are Hannah questions, but maybe.
I think the Director can probably take those, yeah. Thank you.
So I think where we are with the gravel and the vegetation, so it seems like at this point, like we need to address like the gravel removal as much as we can, gravel as well as the vegetation. So right now, like I don't think we are going for like to look at a design or something which is gonna slow us down further. Right now we're gonna hit the ground and then like some work which we did last year, just build up on that and do some work on the ground. And as far as the design for like any scour repair and other thing goes, I think we had this conversation with DWR and they have a like full staff of engineers and other things. The conversation we had with them, it seems like it's a very straightforward repair which doesn't require any engineering because it's not compromising the levees. It's just like a scour, just building up, putting some rip rocks, which is like larger sized rocks or something to stabilize it. I think that's about it, like just remove the gravel and stabilize where it is. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to go to Nice Copter.
Hi, Robin Aceves for Nice Copter Subcommittee. This revolves around us forming the Nice Neighborhood Watch and Citizens Patrol. So I wanted to report that we did have a meeting with Lieutenant Gary Fraze, Officer Lyons, and Cynthia
Radamus.
Okay, thank you. She helps with the citizens, the volunteer corps. It was a really good meeting for us. We addressed the issues that the community had presented to us. And we talked about that, and they pretty much, we kind of voiced our opinion. They gave us, you know, what's possible at this time. I can say that the delay in response time is still, it's going to be an issue. As a matter of fact, I had someone, previous tenant had broke into a red tagged house by us on Saturday, and I called it in because the tenant was still in there doing who knows what. And the deputy did call me 45 minutes after I called and asked me if the person was still in there, and I said yes. So then they were responding. Unfortunately, the person left 3 minutes before they got there. So, you know, it's still going to be an issue, but as far as like, they're very happy that we are forming a neighborhood watch. Cynthia's suggestion to us was to break down the neighborhoods into smaller groups, not one big group. She said that's too hard to, you know, to kind of monitor and watch. So we we have a Facebook page we started. It's a private group. We're trying to keep it very secular to just, it should only be people in the Nice community. And we're trying to make sure we keep it organized and only to the point of the issues going on in Nice as far as the red tag houses, the crime, the drug use, the loitering, the squatting, all the things that, the reason why we started this. So that, you know, so there are different groups we need help with. Dave is doing the Powell Road group. Tom and I are doing the Floyd, Marin, East Merced, Black Oak group. Tim, they're doing the Manzanita, Hudson, that area. We need people like up on Liberty. We need Butte Street. We need Buckingham. People more down Lakeshore, Beach Street. We need some people to kind of step up and just be like the neighborhood leader to kind of help us out. And then, you know, we'll create a phone tree to kind of all work together. But it's going forward. It's really good. We're in the process of ordering some neighborhood watch signs so we can post neighborhood watch signs. So we're in the process of doing that. And we are also, this is really exciting. So, you know, Lakeport and Middletown have they have the National Night Out. Well, guess what? We're going to plan a National Night Out for Nice, and it will be held in Nice. So we're in the active process of doing that. So we're really excited about that because we're going to invite a lot of community organizations and government people, and obviously the Lake County Sheriff's Office will come and they'll have a booth, and just it'll be engaging for the community. So it's good to build a good rapport with the Sheriff's Department because we need them. They have been trying to patrol our area more. I've noticed more of a presence with CHP on Highway 20. I'm very excited that eventually we're going to have, what are those things that go down the middle of 20 that they can't pass?
Well, channelizers.
Channelizers, because people pass down the turn lane on 20. It's so dangerous. So I'm really looking forward to those going in. That's just another thing because unfortunately we have a lot of pedestrian deaths in Nice on Highway 20. So, you know, all these things, the community coming together, the community working together, you know, it's all a good thing. So again, we have, if you're on Facebook, it's the Nice Neighborhood Watch and Citizens Patrol group. We are a private group, so it's not a public page. But we encourage people that live in Nice and want to be involved, please join our group. We're going to come up with an email also for people that aren't on social media. So we'll be announcing that as well. So that's the update. Is there anything else, Tim, that I forgot?
Not really. No, not at all. I just was contacted by Cynthia Radimus and about the National Night Out. So, and we're just waiting to come back, for the sheriff to come back and see whether our dates are convenient for them and whether it works for them. So that's basically what we're waiting on right now.
Okay.
And also one other thing, Lisa Benavides has said that she will be returning to our meetings.
Yay, good. Yeah, and Tim is our chair, or our overseer.
Lead, yeah.
He's our lead,
Overseer.
so he's the guy.
Just to add to CHP coverage, today when I went to work on 20, there was CHP in Lucerne, and I came home tonight, there was CHP. And luckily, when I went by them, they didn't leave their parking spot. But I'm so happy to see them sitting there, probably because of the weather and so forth. I wish they were there more often on the dry days, because that's when everybody's speeding through, but appreciate their coverage. Okay, anything else?
One more thing. If you can call the Lake County Sheriff's Office and ask them to do a patrol. If you feel there's something going on, call them and ask them to do a patrol of your area. The only way we're going to get the issues in Nice solved is if we all start calling and working on these issues. If you don't have, please don't go out and do anything, but if you see something and you're worried about it, ask them to come out and patrol your neighborhood. So.
All right, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Tim. Awesome job on that area. Look forward to that night out organization. So we're gonna, Lisa?
Is there any, is everyone on the board okay with me adding what Robin just shared to the website? That we, like with the Lake County Sheriff's number?
I had a question for you, Lisa, about the website. We were talking about adding something that people could make their reports of incidents.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an area on the council website that is specifically has all these different things that you can do this and that and the other, like a listing of some?
Well, there are a couple lists on the website with links to things, and so we could absolutely add to it,
So
like a list of like for example, last month we added call the Upper Lake, the number that Claudine was sharing.
Yes.
We added that, so we could put a link. We could create a section of the page that's specifically for like actionable things that they.
That seems like a good idea.
And like requested, like on the levy, it might be a good idea to have, can we put input for levy issues as well?
Yeah, if we want.
Yeah, can we do that?
Mhm.
So we have a court,
We can
some
do-
spot,
have all of that stuff in
we
one
can,
area.
like a log of what's going on in the area.
Yeah, we can add a section that's just says like report or like community action, and it can just have a
You
section
can state
that says
what's going on with the
these are the
levies.
things. Mhm.
And if you see there's an area, so we have a track, record, and great.
Yeah, and anytime there's anything, and Margot and Tom do this really well, anytime there's anything from the community that we would like to see on the website, we can just send an email, send me an email if it's something that needs action, or I think it needs action, I'll just check with you, Thomas, but otherwise, we can pretty much add as is.
Okay, Margot, did you have a comment?
Quick suggestion. I think it's fabulous that you're making the website work as a tool for the community. So your data doesn't get discounted or dismissed. What I suggest is that you ask for the person's name who's reporting, but give them the option that when you aggregate the data that they can remain anonymous, because otherwise anybody could discount your results saying, oh, it's just super populated with data that's not legit.
We can definitely do that. I do think that there is an importance of being able to report anonymously.
Exactly.
But I like the idea of
Exactly.
adding
Thank you.
option. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So we're going to move on. We're not too much over time limit, but it's very important to get to Supervisor Crandall's report. Do we still have the participants on Zoom? Yeah. Okay, they just don't have a visual anymore, so maybe they.
While
Okay, great.
While
So there-
supervisor is walking up, can I just clarify what I'm adding to the website?
Yeah.
I am going to add the schools, or the report incidents at Second Street, report incident issues with the levy, and report or the information how to call the sheriff's department to request their patrol. Is that it? Is there anything I'm missing?
Is that what we wanted? Let's start, yeah.
Okay.
That's a great start. Okay, thank you so much, Supervisor Crandall. Thank you so much.
We're ready?
Yes.
All right, first and foremost, I want to say that I understood you pretty well, Pawan. Thank you for coming in. And Linda, you do a lot of good work, and thank you for keeping me updated when it comes to some of the work that you do. I get these texts and whatnot. So just wanted to state that. I want to get right to what the lady from Meadow Point had mentioned. So I have a meeting coming up either Friday or next week. I'm waiting for a confirmation to move forward with the whole situation. The moratorium, I hear you on that. That's going to be part of our discussion. I don't want to get too far into it because I know Meadow Point is listening, right? But definitely there is something being worked on, and we will be having that meeting. And I will be moving to bring something as soon as I can to the Board of Supervisors meeting, because I'm not letting it rest where it's at. Now, there has to be something comparable to where the other board members will agree or will work with us. So either or, there is something in place, not in place, but there's something in the works, and we are continuing to meet. I do understand, and I don't like that they're being retaliated against. That's the whole purpose of getting away from this situation. And it's unfortunate that the meeting that we had with the owners of the different groups, we held a meeting with them and they talked about wanting to work with us. Well, it's obvious now that they don't seem to be willing to do so, because there's also, it's not just Meadow Point. We've got, of course, we know that the Clear Lake Oaks, Lake Village Estates, but then there's also a group in Lakeport that is having the same situation, and they've been reaching out as well. So, so this isn't something that has died or fell to the wayside. So just letting you know that. I wanted to also just briefly talk about last month. So last month I wasn't able to be here. I was at RCRC. They had the installation of the new officers. So I wasn't able to tell you about the meeting we had in Anaheim. We went down, I want to say it was the 12th of January. Supervisor Sabatier and myself went down to Anaheim for a Farm Bureau meeting that took place in Anaheim. Secretary Brooke Rollins was there and invited all of the people that are affected by Lake Pillsbury, and then even a group from Central California that had issues with the same type of situation. And there's probably about 30 or 40 people that were there. We discussed the intricacies of Lake Pillsbury and Scott Dam and PG&E, and it was very well heard. Secretary Rollins obviously came out with some information online that you all probably seen, and we're continuing to do what we can to ensure that we slow it down, or even if we can stop it. But I know that that's a really difficult feat. But since we've been pushing forward and got a lot of momentum from different groups like Cloverdale and Mendocino County, and a lot of the farm folks have been coming forward, and especially Keely and her father have played a big role in getting us a lot of FaceTime with some elected officials. Our letters that we sent to the federal administration have really played a role as well. But that connection right there really put us in a good spot. So we've been able to even have meetings online with with Secretary Brooke Rollins and her staff, and one of her staffers. Actually, her name's Aubrey, has been really helpful with us and keeps and maintains contact, and we should be having another meeting here in the near future, whether it be Zoom or they come out. We're hoping they come out so we can go and give them a look at it, but they, of course, feel the same way we do. So that was probably one of the first times, that is the first time in my life that I ever flew down somewhere and then flew back the same day with Supervisor Sabatier. We were really worried because it was tax dollars that sent us down, but we know the importance of this situation, so we did it, and we were glad that we were able to go. Let's see, I said that. I don't know if you all seen, I think it was either last week or the week before, my days are getting mixed up, but there was a group that came called EGX trying to see if, well, they weren't trying to, the staff was seeing if they can bring, they could ask for more time to work with a group that's looking at geothermal. Now, if you remember back, Sonoma Clean Power came before all of us and talked about what they wanted to do, and I know that there was a statement either made here or even in the chambers about when that didn't move forward, there's still going to be other groups that come forward to look at geothermal, and here they are, as you can see. So, so just letting you know that doesn't mean that meeting was not, because there was a lot of people that thought it was happening. No, they were asking for staff time to work with that group to get information, and that wasn't moved forward. They said to let the group, if they're going to do their own thing to try to, to get their own permit, they need to do it on their own time and with their own funding and their own studies. So that was a misnomer. People thought we were approving a project or bringing it forward. That wasn't the case. So I just wanted to clear that up. Let's see. We have a new animal control director, Rachel Smith. I'm not sure when she starts yet, but she's Monday. Yep, there we go. Thanks, Brad. See, thanks, Brad. And then we have, I don't know if you knew, we have Tom Feimer, our new Chief Public Defender. And so he'll be leading that group after Ray Buenaventura had left. We did have the workshop on the 27th, and we talked about the potential plan for Public Works and Public Services to come together and be one department. That's been a discussion that we've been having, and it looks like we'll be talking more about it. But it's something that may benefit the county, so that way we're not constantly looking for new directors, and we see if we can have a couple more deputies do some work and keep things moving forward rather than kind of waiting for a new director, like we talked about, continuity, right? And so I think there were a couple of other things that are taking place. The paving, Clover Creek and First Street Bridge will be done this year. Upper Lake and Nice area will be worked on along with Rodman Slough this year. I know that during the discussion when Lars was giving that report for Public Works, we had also talked about the old plans and whatnot that were put in place, the 5-year and 10-year plan. And Lars had actually mentioned how those were, the way he put it was they were pipe dreams. But you know, I thought, and you all thought, and it was reported to us that we would be happening. But apparently the goal was to put those together so we can get funding and hope that we can get that. So where we're at now is there's a crew that's working, that the roads crew, and they can do up to, I think it was 50 miles that they can work on, I think a year or something like that they'd be willing. They did 37 last year. So they're going to be working on our roads this year, and we're in the loop there. Let's see. And I told you about the stop signs and whatnot with Lars, and I will need to follow up with you on that. So that's what I have for the moment. If there's any questions.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any questions? Anybody on Zoom that needs? We have a hand raised. Hold on one moment. Let's get a microphone to you, please. Okay, I'll come to Zoom in a minute. If you could state your name and ask the supervisor the question in just a second. Thank you.
My name's Tom Flanagan. I live in one of the parks that's affected. I know that government agencies like to work with. Can you use the microphone, with Jew deliberation.
Test.
It's on.
1, 2.
I just wanted to reiterate that we are up against the wire on this one. We have, I understand, Friday to get on the agenda for Tuesday to do the temporary moratorium. It's not the RSO. It's nothing cast in stone. It's just a moratorium to save our park $475,000 over the next 10 years. And I just wanted to ask you if there's anything we can do, any calls we can make. I know you're on board from what you just said. Do we need to talk to anybody else?
Well, I know that when we had the discussion at the board level, a lot of the folks came in, and I know that's also what a lot of folks felt like they were retaliated against. But if you're not worried about that coming to, as of right now, it would be public input because it's not something we brought forward yet. But that would be a good place as well. Like I said, I'll be having this meeting with the group, would be Supervisor Sabatier, myself, and Rachel Dillman Parsons and Lisa Judd. That's who we'll be talking about where to move forward.
And when is that meeting?
I'm waiting for them to confirm with me either Friday or next week. I need one more person to confirm so we can have that meeting. But it's not necessarily a group meeting that we have like this. It's just
right. I understand. But is it going to be in time to get the vote on the Tuesday meeting at the Board of Supervisors? There's
no vote for Tuesday meeting. I know that there's been a proposal.
For the moratorium, for the delay?
I don't know if there's anything on the agenda for that. I'm not.
Well, it has to be done by March 1st or the charge goes through. We don't have, we have 60 days from January 1st. That's up at the end of February. And then the $470,000 gets charged to us.
And
so we need help right away.
I'm sorry. I understand that's very important, and I understand that that's probably something that even if we could get it on Tuesday's agenda, it might be something that can't even happen. Even if we were to do an emergency item, we would still, with anything that passes as such, even if it's an urgency ordinance, which would need, or a moratorium or something of the like, it would need 4 out of 5 votes. Then it possibly would need an extra 30 days to implement unless the urgency ordinance passed. If it was a non-urgency, we can get a 3-2, but then you have to wait some time, like 30 days before it can move forward from there.
So we would need to go to the courts then?
What's that?
We would need to go to the courts for an injunction.
Well, in that may be something you look at. I think what was the lady's name that was on?
Hillary.
Can I get in contact with her?
We'll get you her
Please.
info.
Yeah, so if
She's
we
a great
can,
resource.
you can meet with me after and get me in contact with her. We'll get somewhere
Great.
with that.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else would have a question for Supervisor Crandall? We have let's go to, before we go to the audience there, Zoom. Can you, the first one to raise their hand, can you state your name and ask the question? Oh, Hillary? Hi, Hillary.
I'll just ask this quickly and then Hillary can. Mr. Crandall, who did you say were the other people on the committee?
The other people on the
Dillon?
committee are Supervisor Sabatier and Lisa Judd and Rachel Dillman Parsons. Maria Turner was in attendance at the last one as well for community development. And that's the staff, that's the community development director. Yeah.
Okay.
Could you please repeat again? I missed it.
So it's myself, Supervisor Sabatier, Rachel Dillman Parsons, Social Services Director, Maria Turner, Community Development Director, and Lisa Judd, who works as a housing specialist in the admin office.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's take a question from the public.
Hi, Jay. Claudine already asked this question, but I wasn't really clear about the answer from Pawan about whether or not the lease at the biochar site would be canceled. I had understood it should be an action item on the agenda for the board to vote on.
Yes, it was supposed to go on in January 7th, but we never were able to get it on as of yet. So it still is something that needs to come back. I know that Pawan had said that it's in the works. It's something that, he actually had brought forward before. So it is something that's supposed to come to us. I just can't give you an exact date. I understand, and it should have been there January 7th, but it wasn't.
A lot of big things going on,
right.
I know.
But I know he's working on it, and Brad's here. He's the chair, so we'll work on that. Yeah. What's that? We'll put it right now. How about that? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Point
thank
of
you.
order.
Question from Zoom.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead and state your question to Supervisor.
So I just wanted to let you know that, I do work up and down the state, and recently, in January, I worked with the city of Fortuna, and they did put the issue on the agenda, and they were able to vote an emergency moratorium at that meeting. They didn't have to wait 30 days, and they were able to really, they really saved affordable housing in their community. And excuse me?
Oh, was it a city, or I didn't hear that? Sorry.
It's the city of Fortuna in Humboldt County. Also, Sonoma County did the same thing. So did the city of Camarillo. It can be done, and it really needs to be done. I'm asking the Worth tonight if they would consider making a motion to endorse placing the issue on the agenda on February 24th and of a temporary moratorium on all mobile home park fee increases until an RSO has been finalized. There's no downside to it.
I agree with you on
And
that.
what we're seeing here, they're the unintended consequences of you guys forming an ad hoc committee, which was great. It was a fabulous move. But you need to take your time on that. You need to make sure you're getting an airtight rent stabilization ordinance. In the meantime, if these predatory park owners are jacking up the rents or passing through fees, these park people, they don't have the money to hire an attorney to represent them against that. They're just victims. That's the whole point of an RSO. The only way to stop it is those increases is to pass a moratorium, and it needs to be passed at the February 24th meeting.
She ready? Finished? So I will reach out to my colleague in Sonoma County and see how fast and how they were able to do that. Because I mean, I hear you on the city. We work somewhat different than the cities, but you said Sonoma County did, so that may be something that we can work from right there. So let me reach out to him tomorrow.
Supervisor, is there any way, if the Worth were to pass a motion to endorse having a moratorium on the agenda for Tuesday, would that be beneficial? Like, is there any way that it can get on the agenda?
It would probably have to be as an addition, like any additions to the agenda, because I think it's probably already in motion right now. They're putting it forward probably tomorrow. Yeah.
So would it be, because I would happily make the motion and would be willing to write anything we need to write, but I just want to make sure, like, is it possible? Can we, if we do that, would it be beneficial to you and the other supervisors to hear from us that it is needed to at least have the debate on the floor?
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't think there's really debates per se, but if we put it on there and it's something that can be voted on that day, like if it's not something that can be haltered, like how the ordinance or non-urgency ordinance or the urgency ordinance can, and then there's something, like she's saying, a moratorium that can happen that specific day, then that's possible. And so if you want to make the motion, it's fine. I always usually carry forward whatever you all put forward to me, so.
What do we have to do?
What's the motion for advising?
If I'm understanding, the community ask is for the Worth to write a formal endorsement that the Board of Supervisors
To make the
add to their
moratorium.
agenda of voting, an action item of voting on a moratorium. Is that accurate, Hillary?
I think so.
I think it might have to be on our agenda. I mean,
We voted a couple other things, don't we?
I guess we could.
But even if you don't, if I can talk with her and figure out how Sonoma did it,
I think Supervisor Crandall, he's working on the progress. He understands the urgency.
But I think for the moratorium is what everyone's concerned about. because
Adding the
of
moratorium to your next meeting
that's
agenda
that's
to
what
actually
the-
take a vote on it?
Well, the urgency seems to be that because the gentleman that just spoke and then the lady that spoke online says that their increases will take place on March 1st. And if we apply a moratorium, which that's the biggest question for me, is if we do implement a moratorium and it's not able to be implemented that week, it still really wouldn't have served a purpose, except for it would stop it at the end. And I don't know how that looks if they already put the increase in place. We voted on the moratorium. Does it stop? Like there's those types of intricacies that I think have to be dealt out. But again, I'm willing to see what we can do, on that. And I'm willing to talk to the representative on there to see how it was done. And I'm willing to call my colleague in Sonoma County and see how they did it.
Do you want to just send us an email out of what you plan to do? Is that okay, to the board?
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah, so just keep
So I got the roads and that for you. I got to get out to you.
just-
But I think the important thing is to ensure that if we can get it on the agenda for Tuesday, it would be like bringing in an extra item. And if not, we'll go from there. But I understand the urgency and.
I would really, I want to use this as a tool to support you, Supervisor, but also I think our job as the Worth is to listen to the community and provide recommendations. And not only from the folks that were here today, but also all over Facebook, all over conversations and community meetings. This is something that community members in need are asking for.
Okay.
And so I would like to make a motion that we write a letter. It's very brief, could be like 2 sentences, formally endorsing that requesting that the Board of Supervisors quickly put on their agenda for Tuesday, February 24th, a vote for a moratorium on this item.
All right, so where does this letter go?
I think it would go to the clerk of the board, right?
And then it'll be given to you guys to review and, okay.
So
All the supervisors.
We just basically be saying that we think it's
Official
a good
endorsement.
idea. We
It's
think
an
a good
official
idea.
recommendation that
Of
they
recommending.
And as sort of representatives of the people of Meadow Point.
Well, it would be for all of the.
Yeah, but I mean,
The whole board.
I mean, that's obviously in our district.
Do you want to write that up, Lisa? I know
Yeah,
you're
I'll do it tonight.
strategize.
I'll
Yeah,
send
and
it
just,
tonight.
and send it. Okay, so Lisa's put a motion out to send a letter.
I'll second.
Tim has made a second.
We have some discussion.
We have a
You wanna
discussion
discuss the
before we,
motion?
okay, Margot?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A quick suggestion in terms of practicality to provide relief for our neighbors who are in the mobile home parks facing this March 1 increase. If it were phrased in terms of temporary moratorium retroactive to January 1, that might help our neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Crandall. Just doing a little bit of real quick research. An emergency or urgency ordinance can be implemented immediately in California to address urgent public peace, health, or safety threats.
An urgency ordinance?
Yeah.
I understand
So
that, but
that's
you need
4/5.
4 out of 5 votes.
Thank
And
you.
obviously, last time you seen that probably wouldn't happen. So it
Understood.
would have to be a non-urgency.
Yeah.
I mean, we could put it on, spend the time talking about it, but I mean, when you seen the last meeting.
Right. The nuance is 30 days. I understand the challenge there. If it is an emergency ordinance, then it can be implemented immediately, but if it's a regular ordinance, it does take the 30 days.
Takes the 30 days, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a Mike on Zoom. Maya on Zoom, can you go ahead and speak?
Yeah, and what Hillary was just saying, that the meeting last month, why isn't it doing that? The meeting last month with the Harmony Mobile Home Park, have the $350 that starts with them in January. And they're crediting every month, and still probably something happens, and then they're gonna make paying that $350. Some kind of crazy they're doing. But question was, so 4 out of the 5 supervisors at the last meeting did not see an urgency to protect the citizens in affordable living. Was that what you said, Mr.
No,
Crandall?
I didn't say that. I just said that
Okay.
yeah, no, I didn't say that. I said that we wouldn't have got the vote for the ordinance because it needed to be looked at again, and so that's why we put together a committee.
Unfortunately, it's cutting. Can't hear.
Explain to her that I have to turn you up,
So,
turn her down.
so Thomas needs to turn you up, and then turn me down, and then when I answer you, he has to go vice versa. So it's almost like, yeah.
Over.
Okay. Any more comments?
I didn't hear that, but
Oh, we have a
the audio got really bad.
okay, hey Jay, can you state that again for her?
I don't remember.
Oh, it's the 4 to 5.
Oh, yeah,
during
no,
ad
so
hoc?
what I said was I didn't say that wasn't the case. What I said is it just didn't have the support as of yet. It needed more work. So I'm pretty sure that my colleagues they want to help the parks and they want to help the community. Just with what I proposed at that time, solely proposed, was not something that everyone was, what they wanted to see more changes, which I understand. Honestly, I brought forward the most stringent thing there was, and that was kind of my goal because
Draconian,
as it's been said, draconian. Yes. But at the same time, that was the whole point of this committee. Like I said, we met with that group of owners. Obviously, you've seen them last month, one of them or two of them or whatever the case may be, and they weren't. I've had my discussions with the same person, so I'm pretty sure that you all are as frustrated as I am with that same person, and that's where we're at, and so that's where we'll go from here. So if you guys want to do what you're doing, I can do.
Yeah, certainly. So we have a motion. We have a second. Any more
I have one more thing under discussion.
You go ahead.
So on this 24th, would it behoove us, all that are tenants in a mobile home park, show up at the board meeting and speak during?
Yes, if it's not on the agenda, that would be key. But if it's on the agenda, it would be key to be there as well, if we can get it on there.
Because we can get 50, 60 tenants from all the trailer parks there. We could take up a good portion of your time.
180 minutes for the
Yeah.
subject, yeah.
So that's the challenge to you in the audience, is show up if you want this moratorium to go. If you want anything to go, always show up and speak your piece. You got, what, 3 minutes each?
Yep.
Yep, and I highly recommend that you be there.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
Oh, and Tim's the second already. We already have a second. So let's, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Lisa, for that. Any more questions for Supervisor Crandall? Thank you so much, Supervisor. It's been a real informed discussion. Thank you so much. Okay, any announcements? Any announcements before we go? Thank you so much. We went over, but it's very important we heard everything tonight.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, no, our motion carries. Have a great night. Thank you, everybody.